We live in a world that tells us companionship is the highest good, that trust is the glue of every bond, and that to walk alone is a kind of failure. But life has a way of teaching us otherwise. To entrust your dreams, your vision, and your labor too easily into another's hands is to hand them the power to shape or shatter your destiny. Trust must be earned, not assumed. It is one of the most fragile currencies in human relationships, yet so often we spend it recklessly. People imagine that because someone smiles at them, listens to their story, or shares a moment of kindness, that person is automatically safe. But the human heart is not a simple vessel. It is layered with motives, fears, weaknesses, and desires that are often hidden even from itself. To hand over your trust without discernment is like leaving your most valuable possessions in the open air, expecting no one to touch them. Some will not, but others, out of greed, carelessness, or even weakness, will break what you have given. The truth is that most betrayals do not come from malice, but from frailty. A friend does not always intend to hurt you when they share a secret, but they may lack the discipline to keep silent. A partner may not plan to abandon you, but when trials come, they may not have the courage to stay. Weakness can wound as deeply as cruelty. This is why assuming trust is dangerous. It is not about being cynical, but about being wise. If we entrust our hearts, our dreams, and our hopes to people simply because we wish to believe in them, we set ourselves up for disappointment. The cost of misplaced trust is heavy: broken confidence, delayed progress, and sometimes wounds that take years to heal. To earn trust is different. When someone earns your trust, it is not through words alone, but through consistent action over time. They prove themselves when no one is watching, when loyalty costs them something, and when silence serves you more than their speech does. Trust is earned when a person holds steady even when it is easier to falter. It is built brick by brick, act by act, until you see that their character has weight, not just charm. Just as a house built on sand collapses, trust placed on shallow impressions eventually falls apart. But trust established on a tested foundation can weather storms. There is also a danger in confusing kindness with trustworthiness. Many mistake a gentle tone or a generous gesture for proof of integrity, but kindness can be a mask. It can also be a momentary impulse rather than a reflection of steady character. A person may give today and take tomorrow, smile in your presence and slander in your absence. To know whether trust is deserved, you must look beyond surface impressions and watch for patterns. Does this person honor their word when no benefit comes to them? Do they carry responsibility even when it burdens them? Do they protect what is private as if it were sacred? These are the marks of one who has earned trust. Building this kind of discernment requires patience. It is tempting to rush, to give people the benefit of the doubt and place your confidence in them too soon. But haste is the enemy of wisdom. The strongest structures in nature are those formed slowly, trees that grow for decades, stones that are pressed together by time. In the same way, trust matures with observation and experience. You cannot demand it, you cannot shortcut it, and you should not surrender it too easily. At the same time, holding trust tightly is not about building walls of suspicion around yourself. It is about guarding what is precious until you are certain it will not be mishandled. Just as a jeweler does not place diamonds in careless hands, you should not place your heart or your future into the grasp of those who have not shown they can carry it. This is not bitterness, it is stewardship. What you have been given, your vision, your purpose, your love, is too valuable to scatter on untested ground. In the end, to understand that trust must be earned is to walk a wiser path. You will still connect with people, but you will not bind yourself to them prematurely. You will still share parts of yourself, but you will not give away the whole until time has proven their worth. And when you do finally give trust, it will not be hollow or reckless. It will be strong, deliberate, and grounded in truth. Such trust, once given, has power. It builds bonds that endure, partnerships that strengthen, and friendships that last through storms. But this kind of trust can only exist where wisdom has ruled over impulse, and where character has been tested long enough to prove it is real. Loneliness can be strength in disguise. At first glance, it feels like emptiness, like the absence of something essential. The silence of being alone can seem unbearable, a reminder that companionship, approval, or support is missing. Yet beneath that silence, there is a hidden gift. Loneliness is not always a punishment. Often it is preparation. It removes the noise of the crowd so you can hear your own thoughts clearly. It strips away the comfort of constant voices so you can discover whether your conviction can stand without applause. The truth is, many people only move forward when someone pushes them, only act when someone notices, only believe when someone else agrees. Their strength is borrowed, not their own. But loneliness tests you differently. It asks, will you keep building when no one sees? Will you hold onto your vision when no one encourages you? Will you persist in your calling when no one claps for your effort? If you can answer yes to these questions in solitude, then your strength is real. What survives the silence cannot be shaken by the crowd. There is also a kind of sharpening that comes with being alone. In the company of others, you may adjust yourself, compromise, or soften your edge to fit their expectations. But when you are alone, you meet yourself honestly. You face your fears without disguise, your weaknesses without excuse, your desires without distraction. Loneliness forces you into that confrontation, and though it is uncomfortable, it is also the birthplace of growth. It is there that you learn resilience, discipline, and clarity of purpose. Consider how many great works were born in solitude. Writers, thinkers, inventors, leaders, most of them carried their vision alone long before anyone else believed in it. They endured seasons of obscurity where their ideas were doubted or ignored. Yet that very loneliness gave them the space to shape something strong enough to outlast rejection. They did not waste their solitude. They turned it into fuel. The same is true for you. If you see your loneliness not as a cage but as a forge, you will begin to see its value. This is not to say that isolation should last forever, nor that you must reject all companionship. Human beings are made for connection. But there is a difference between needing people and choosing people. When you learn to stand strong in your loneliness, you no longer cling to others out of desperation. You no longer lower your standards simply to avoid being alone. You wait, you discern, and you choose wisely. That is strength. So when loneliness presses on you, do not despise it. Let it teach you. Let it reveal the muscles of your will, the endurance of your spirit, and the depth of your calling. One day, when you are surrounded by people who finally recognize what you have built, you will know that your foundation was not their approval, but your own inner strength. Loneliness will have done its work, and you will see it for what it truly was all along. Not weakness, not failure, but strength in disguise. Your vision is sacred. Protect it. Every dream begins fragile, like a flame newly lit, flickering in the wind. At the start, it is easy to doubt, easy to dismiss, and even easier for others to crush. People will speak carelessly about what you hold dear, not because they always mean harm, but because they cannot see with your eyes or feel with your heart. What is priceless to you may look small, even foolish to them. That is why you must treat your vision as something holy, something that cannot be handed over casually, something to be guarded until it has the strength to shine on its own. When you reveal your dream too soon, you invite voices that will weaken it. Doubt is contagious. If you place your fragile hope before people who lack courage, their fear will infect you. If you share your plan with those who envy, their jealousy will quietly sabotage your confidence. Even those who love you can wound your vision, not with malice, but with misplaced caution. They will warn you of failure, not realizing that their words are not protection, but poison. Protecting your vision means recognizing that not every voice deserves access to it. To protect something sacred also means to nurture it in silence. Just as seeds grow beneath the soil where no one can see, your dream must first grow in hidden places. There you water it with discipline, feed it with learning, and shield it with patience. In silence, you are free from the need to perform or prove. You are free to stumble, to experiment, to strengthen your foundation without the weight of judgment. This quiet stage is not wasted time. It is the secret work that ensures your vision will not collapse when it finally meets the light. There will be moments when you feel the urge to prove yourself, to display your progress for validation. Resist that temptation. Approval is fleeting, and once you depend on it, your dream is no longer yours. It is owned by the crowd. The sacred cannot survive if it is constantly exposed to careless hands. Protecting your vision is not selfishness, it is stewardship. You are guarding something that one day may bless others, but for now requires your undivided devotion. And when the time comes to reveal it, when your vision is no longer fragile but strong, you will not need to announce it loudly. The work will speak for itself. The fruit will silence doubters. The results will be the answer to every skeptic. That day will come, but only if you have protected the vision long enough for it to reach maturity. So hold your dream close. Do not scatter it in places where it can be trampled. Do not let every passing opinion shape it. Your vision is sacred, and like all sacred things, it must be honored, shielded, and cared for. If you protect it faithfully, it will not only survive, it will flourish, and its light will be strong enough to guide not just you, but others who will one day walk in its glow. Victory is pure when it rests on your own labor. There is a different weight, a deeper satisfaction, in the triumphs you build with your own hands compared to those handed to you or borrowed from another. Success that depends entirely on others is fragile. It shifts when loyalties shift. It disappears when support is withdrawn, and it collapses when the foundation you leaned on breaks. But when you labor for your victory, when every step is marked by your effort, your sacrifice, and your endurance, then the crown cannot be taken from you. It belongs to you in truth, not by chance, not by inheritance, but by merit. Relying too heavily on others for your achievements often brings hidden chains. When your progress depends on someone else's approval, you remain their servant. When your dream survives only because of someone else's resources, it is never fully yours. There is always the possibility that they will withdraw, leaving you stranded with nothing. Victory that comes this way is not victory at all. It is dependency disguised as success. It looks good from the outside, but within it is unstable. True victory, though, requires struggle. It demands nights when no one sees you working, mornings when you rise with weariness still on your shoulders, and countless moments where you resist the temptation to quit. This is the labor that shapes character. The pain of effort, the discipline of patience, and the resilience to endure hardship all become woven into the very fabric of your achievement. And when at last you reach the summit, you do not only have the prize, you have become someone stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. There is also a purity in knowing that what you have cannot be credited to anyone else's agenda. No one can claim they built it for you. No one can use it against you. No one can take ownership of your labor. That purity gives you freedom. It means your victory does not come with hidden debts or silent compromises. You owe no one your silence, no one your obedience, no one your surrender. The reward is not tainted by manipulation because it rests entirely on your own perseverance. Many avoid this path because it is difficult. Building alone requires patience in obscurity, faith when results are invisible, and strength when loneliness presses in. Yet those who choose the easier way, leaning too much on others, chasing shortcuts, begging for constant validation, often find themselves empty when trials come. Their victories dissolve because they were never theirs to begin with, but those who endure the long road find their triumph unshakable. Victory built on your own labor carries a sweetness unmatched by anything else. It is not the shallow thrill of applause, but the deep peace of knowing you have overcome. It is not dependent on whether people cheer or remain silent. It is yours, born of your sacrifice, sealed by your persistence. And because it is yours, it cannot be stolen. That is why victory is pure only when it rests on your own labor, for it not only proves what you have done, but also reveals who you have become.